Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Waiting for some more people to come in. I decided to pull some information because one person asked me about what was the answer to Steve's request. And I went and pulled some things out for you guys. We're gonna read some transcript of the court's of hearing, and one of them is about 40 pages, and we're just going to dissect it today. I'm just going to wait a few more minutes because, a couple of people are not here. Some people may not have gotten a notification. Also, guys, I have a special guest that's coming on. A special guest. This young man worked with Tupac. He worked with Dre for about 10 years. And he also did a 3-day concert, a 3-day concert with R. Kelly, and he's going to give you his experience of working with Rob. And so I talked to him a few minutes ago. I just sent him the link, and I am waiting for him to come on. So just bear with me a minute because I will give you his name and everything once I get the okay for him that he is on coming in. Remember the other day I got a text message when he was trying to get on my page. Hey, Money Gang. So I am waiting for him to come on in, guys. Hey, Frida. Hey, guys. I'm waiting for him to. Let me call him and see if he's having any trouble getting in. And then after that, we're gonna go discuss our. I went and got the transcript, so you guys, we can go over the transcript of the court proceeding. Hey, just bear with me a second. Hold on, let me call him. Hold on. Okay, he is getting ready to get on, guys. He is about to get on. He was on a conference call, so he's coming on in a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh Lord Jesus. Woo. So he'll be on in a minute. I know there's a lot going on YouTube. I'm just staying in my world, my little world here. I'm just staying in my little world. Stay out of fire. Just stay in my little world. That's where I'm going to stay. So I'm waiting for him to hit the link so he can come on in so he can speak to you guys. Hold on a second. Okay, guys, he's gonna come on now. He's talking about my phone. That's not nice. I told him his phone is jacked up, but he's coming in now. He's coming in. As you guys know, he has worked with Robert. He actually worked with Robert. He was on tour with Robert for 3 days, and he's going to give you his own perspective of what's happening to Robert. He worked with Dr. Dre for 10 years. 10 years. He also worked with Tupac and a couple of other artists. He's about to come on now. You know him. He's in California. He probably got a jacked up phone. You know all the California folks. Here he come. Hold on a second, y'all. Okay, just bear with me, guys. They're just trying to get their thing in. I see them behind the stage here, but okay. All right. All right. Without further ado, here's my special guest, Free Jack. Hold on a second. I'm gonna put him in. Boom. Hey.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Free Jack.
Yeah.
How are you?
Oh, I'm all right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? You in that
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
what kind of phone do you have? The what do you call it?
Uh,
Bootleg phone?
iPhone. The iPhone.
Okay, Free Jack. I just wanted everyone to get to know who you are. There you go. Hey.
Hey.
Oh, you want it off? Okay.
All right, Free Jack. Tell us a little bit about yourself because I have quite a few people in here right now, and I wanted them to hear your story in regards to what's happening with Rob.
Man, look, it's kind of I'm kind of like stagnated right now because I just got off the phone with one of his other peoples, and it's crazy what they doing to him in there. That is insane.
Yeah.
Like okay, if you want to just say or believe that he's guilty for whatever he's done, he's not guilty for being a human. Like man, like you treating him bad. Like no food, no help, no nothing. Just treating that man bad. But it made me mad because like I'm gonna go back to like 2000. I think it was like 2010.
Mm-hmm.
We was on the road with R. Kelly,
Mm-hmm.
and it was me. I think it was Juvenile, City High, a group called City High.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had like 4 stripper girls with me, and by the end of the night, it was a party that we did at a place called Emerald City, and we did a show there. And by the end of the night, the girls completely vanished, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering where they went. Everybody said, "Oh, they went with R. Kelly." So the next day, I seen the girls. I didn't really get to talk to them, but and so this is like you got to think. After last time I seen those girls, it was a big party. So I left them there with R. Kelly. So when we got back to the Bay Area, I told them, "Oh, how was the party?" So that party was wild, and that was the end of that. So this is like 20 years later. This stuff happening now today.
Mm-hmm.
So I look up and say, "Oh, you hear what's going on with R. Kelly?" I'm like, "What's going on with R. Kelly?" They say, "Oh man, R. Kelly went down for this and that. He was doing this to all these girls." And I thought about it. I say, "Man, I remember the girl named Tasha, a
Mm-hmm.
girl named Nicole, and a girl named Brenda. I'll never forget them because I called them recently because I wanted to say, hey, look, remember 20 years ago, y'all disappeared with R. Kelly? I said, how did that work out? I said, you heard that stuff that's going on. Them girls, all 3 of the girls said, that is delirious. She said, we thought he was gay because he wouldn't touch none of us. The girl said we wanted to they wanted to mess with him, but they say he didn't. He showed them so much respect. They said that he put them in a whole nother, totally different room because he didn't want them around that kind of stuff that was going on.
Wow.
Like with the guys partying and stuff. So he sent them off to a whole nother room. So they was like, it's kind of odd that they said that he had these bad tendencies of wanting to mess with little girls because they said we was young and we was drinking and smoking and everything, and that dude never ever touched them one time.
Wow. Wow.
You know,
Wow.
it's amazing. It's amazing how people I really believe that this situation that's going on is kind of like the situation with Jada Pinkett and his wife, like kind of like she didn't want to call it cheating, she wanted to call it entanglement. So now everybody's that cheats, they call it entanglement because they don't believe the cheating and entanglement is the same, but it's actually the same thing. So one person run with it, the next person run with it. So I believe that somebody blamed the celebrity, and now they blaming all the celebrities just to do it, just to have a nasty, dirty game, just something to do. Because social media will destroy you if you let it. That's why I'm on and off social media. It will destroy you because you gotta be careful because it'll take the truth and bend it so much. And the same thing with Bill Cosby. They wait till he get almost 80, 90 years old to accuse him for doing something. Why they wait that long?
Yeah. 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 I get you. I get it. I get it. So
Because
wow.
it's like, and I'm a like I'm a producer. I film movies and all that, all good stuff like that. And I believe right is right, wrong is wrong. And I deal with a lot of people. I deal with Jamie Foxx. I deal with Aftermath. I produced over there Aftermath. I was at Bad Boy. I ran into a lot of celebrities, and a lot of times I was in them celebrities. It's a lot of people had rumors about certain people. Like everybody thought Dr. Dre smoked weed. He never smoked weed in his life. They said he was gay. He's not gay. Like it's just certain stuff. They said he died. He ain't died. Like it's the social media will run with your whole life, and I feel like they really destroyed R. Kelly. His
Yeah.
fans,
Yeah.
his so-called fans, destroyed him. Everybody destroyed him because a lot of the people that's accusing they was there willingly. I mean, willingly there. I seen times when parents was dropping them off over there, like to party with people. I still see it to this day. Like I be at a lot of events. Young girls' parents drop them off. They be so happy. Oh, my daughter is with Jeezy tonight. Oh, my daughter is with T.I. And then the money start kicking in. Oh, let's say that he touched her. Say he touched you.
Wow.
Nowadays you just not gonna win. When people say you touching them, whether you're true, right or wrong, you're not gonna win. Especially if you don't got people around you that know you.
Sorry, I forgot to turn my phone off. Sorry about that. There's some people asking some question in the chat. Hold on a second. I'm trying to turn it down. Hold on. I'm trying to get this thing off. I should have had my phone off. I did not know people were going to call me. I have one person by the name Riri ask, why are the celebrities not speaking up for him anymore?
The reason why all the celebrities is not speaking up for R. Kelly anymore, I believe they're not speaking up for him because I believe in the music industry, it's kind of like the mob. The mob got this one dude that run everything. I believe that somebody inside of that situation is making sure that those celebrities don't ride with it. It's like a threat. Like you will be blackballed. If you ride with this, we're gonna blackball you. So I believe that a lot of celebrities are scared of being blackballed. They don't want to speak up for what's right because they're scared it's gonna shut them down. They scared of what's gonna happen to them. Because I know I can't say no names, but it's a lot of people I know in the industry that can't speak up because of those situations that they've been threatened to lose their record deals or threatened to this will happen to them or something happen to them. So I think that's what's going on. But it's a couple of celebrities out here that's gonna step up and haven't stepped up. But that's the reason why when I have conversations with certain celebrities, like, bro, he like, why you didn't speak up? Like, oh man, I don't want to get myself caught up or tied up in nothing. So a lot of people are scared. A lot of people losing, how would I say? I think they losing their loyalty. They losing their strength as a black person, as a father, as a man. You know what I mean? You just got to be real, man. I believe in the truth. So, if you blackball me, you can blackball me, but you can try to blackball me because God only gonna allow you to do something to me that He'll let you do to me. So
Amen.
You can't really, you know. So I speak the truth. I speak about what I see. And I had a couple of talk with a couple of people recently about the situation with R. Kelly. I'm like, hey, well, let's come together and let's do something on his behalf. Let's do something, because all these documentaries coming out is badgering him. Let's do something about him, about the good that he did, because he's done a lot of good stuff, a whole lot of good stuff. So it's like, and they like, nah, man, because my company don't want to mess with it, man. And you know, if I mess with it, they gonna drop me off the label, and that's how I eat. So that's pretty much what I believe is why they stepping down and why they're not speaking. But I run my own situation. I'm my own label. I'm my own boss. So you can't blackball me because the money that I'm getting isn't coming from them. So I'm gonna speak what I feel like I need to speak, and I'm gonna tell the truth of what I know, because I spent time with a lot of those celebrity people. So especially R. Kelly, you know what I mean? I know for a fact that's a good dude. I know his heart good. I wasn't there when all these things happened, but I was there when things could have happened and should have happened that didn't happen. So I don't know.
Yeah, and you can only speak about your part. I mean, what you've seen yourself, and you
Right.
have experienced it with him. So, and you don't have anything bad to say, you know. So,
Nah. All I can say is if it is truth in it, may God bless him and help him through whatever he's going through, if that's the case, because I'm not a lawyer. And but my personal side that like I said, I mean, we can't get this. He got good music, beautiful music, man. He got great music. I mean, I seen my parents and my sisters love his music. So, and a lot of us still, support him until they prove all the way what's going on with R. Kelly, man. But it's just a bad thing, man. It's just sad, man. I hate it. I feel bad for the people who the girls that claim that whatever happened. I feel bad for them. I really do. Whatever happened, I feel bad for them, because like I said, I wasn't there. But this, at the end of the day, at the end of all this, at the end of the day, don't no black man, no Chinese, no Hispanic deserve to be treated unhumanly. Period.
yeah. I have a couple of questions here. Wish says, thank you for speaking out. And do you think the ladies you met would come and speak positively on his behalf?
Yeah, I'm 100%. I'm 100% sure they will, because we right now, as we speak, we are in the process of working on a documentary on R. Kelly's behalf, and there's going to be a lot of people speaking about what they know and what they did. A lot of experience. So those females will be speaking. Yeah, they will. Yes, they will.
So do you think there would even be witnesses for Rob if needs so?
I'm 100% sure they will. Yep, they will.
Okay.
Yep.
Anybody else have a question? Hold on, I'm gonna go down. Hold on. Okay. Tamika said, pretty much, we as Black people will always be their slave in the music industry.
You're 100% right. Unless you're your own boss. You're right. The only way you're not gonna be a slave unless you're your own boss. Start your own lane, your own fans. That's the only way it's gonna work. Whenever, that's with anybody. Like, it's a regular job. If you work for McDonald's, Burger King, Tesla, you're gonna always be a slave. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Whenever you're not working for yourself on your own time, that's the 20th century slavery until you get up and do it on your own. I'm still a slave right now. I work for somebody. I work for a real 9-to-5 job. It's temporary, like I go in and come out. But it's, if you want to call it slavery, I guess, because that's like a form of slavery when you got to work to get something, unless you're doing your own thing.
Okay, let's see. I was trying to see what else. Anybody else have any question? Okay. All right. Here's a question from Timothy. She says, do you believe the women, or do you think there are some holes in their there's some holes in their story? Not horrors, but holes in their story. You're frozen. Your AT&T fake phone.
You know what? You're right. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it was. I'm back.
You're still frozen a little bit.
Uh-oh, it froze up.
I tell you, California phones, boy.
Let me move around. Is it unfrozen yet?
Yeah, it's unfrozen now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you said, do I believe there was any holes in that story? Yes.
Yeah.
There's definitely holes. Because let me tell you, this is crazy. This is what I'm telling you, this is nuts right here. Because when all that fun happened, the drinking, the partying, the pictures with R. Kelly, the videos with R. Kelly, it was all fine and dandy until the next day when they made that call and tried to tap in and he didn't want nothing to do with him no more. And all of a sudden it's rape. They got to remember, they didn't start hollering that until the first person started saying it. It's like a domino effect. One person said he did it, then here come another girl, then here come another girl. Man, trust me, they was there doing that willingly, man, until something went wrong within their mind. Money, man. It's money. You gotta think. You gotta think. It's money. It's all you gotta think. It's money. The first one that did it got paid. It's money. See, they tried to do that with Michael Jackson, but Michael Jackson figured out a way to get around that. He didn't go to jail.
Sonny B says, Mr. Jag. Okay, hold on. It jumped up. It says, Mr. Jag, why no one spoke up before now?
That's what I'm saying. No one spoke up for now because it always take one to make, like, I'm gonna give you a prime example. You know, like if one person start clapping, you could be in this whole polity place, somebody tell a joke and nobody laughed. But when that one person start clapping, everybody else start clapping. Gotcha. So it's like they didn't say nothing because it wasn't no need to say nothing. But now somebody else stepped up and said something and they actually got something out of it. So they said, well, I'm gonna say it too. And then here the next girl said it. And that's all about money, man. It's a money scheme went wrong. Period. That's just what it is. It's about money. It ain't about R. Kelly touching no girls or nothing. Because every woman he touched, they trust me, that was willingly. Just think about it. Back in them days, who wouldn't want to wake up with R. Kelly? Let's be real. I mean, come on, like for real, right? Who wouldn't want to wake up with R. Kelly? What girl wouldn't want to wake up? Come on, man. That is like a dream come true.
Yeah.
But then when he got a little older, he wasn't as active anymore. He got older. Girls started saying, one girl was really mad at him. She said he did something to her. Then the next girl said, well, I'm mad at him too, so I'm gonna do it. And they was trying to get money off of him. That's all. It's about money. That's it.
Yeah. I agree with you. All right. And then Tamika just says, do you believe that some of those females was with his entourage and not with him?
No, I don't believe that.
You don't believe says it was like in a relationship with somebody else in his group?
You know what? Hold on. You know what? You might be right. I didn't think about that one.
Because in fact, one of them was the one that who started the whole thing, Ashanti. She was dating one of his I think security guys.
You might be right. Yeah, that'd be something else, wouldn't it? If that's the case. Mm-hmm. That's a good one right there. Ooh, yeah. Gotta think about that one. I don't know. Well, if that's the case, you better be careful who you got in your entourage then.
Hello.
And you need to make sure whoever's in your entourage ain't got no situation with somebody else's entourage. Yeah.
Somebody else's entourage, huh? Who would you think?
Who would I think? Somebody else. It got to be a singer. It would be a singer. Somebody.
Okay.
Maybe Aaron Hall from Guy. that is who they said knocked. Look, they said R. Kelly knocked Aaron Hall out the box and stopped his whole career, kind of like 50 Cent stopped Ja Rule's career. That's what they say.
And there's always some sort of beef.
Yeah, so you might have said, you never know. Because my mom told me, my mother told me, she said, back in the days that the enemy used to send women to get back at their enemies. My mom told me that always been the game that they would that older guys would use to get back at their enemy. They'll send a woman in your direction, they suck up your information or put you in a bad position, because most men get weak around beautiful women. Like, send a beautiful woman to a man that can barely get women, he'll tell her anything.
That's what they say Delilah did to Samson in the Bible.
There we go. So I
Didn't
believe.
Delilah do that?
Yeah. So I believe this. Yeah, I believe all this got. Yeah. So I believe R. Kelly just a bad timing, man. It's bad timing. He happened to be around. He happened to get caught up in the timing where they was accusing people of doing stuff.
Yeah.
He got caught up in that bad trend because it's a trend. Everybody's saying it. Like everybody wearing one year, everybody wearing afros. Next minute, everybody wearing this. It's just a trend. People following these trends, and this is a bad trend to follow. But they so desperate. The world is so corrupt. The devil got the world upside down that these people doing anything, stepping on anybody they can, because they felt like, okay, we tell R. Kelly he gonna just give us some money. Say he touched us, he gonna settle out of court.
Yeah, exactly. Someone just verified something you just said. Lil Mac says Aaron Hall is allegedly known for dating minors. Where is his surviving Aaron Hall?
See, I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't get it, but I just pray my band get up out of that, man, because I'm sure looking forward and doing some music with my brother, and I know that this is more than what it is. It's just they made it more bigger than what it is. He was just a artist out having fun with girls willingly, because you gotta think about it. If a man gonna rape you, and the way the things that they said he did, they should have been at the police department that next day.
Hello, and especially if somebody's got you in the basement and you peeing in a bucket and they're not feeding you and they lock you, chain you up. I mean, as soon as you see a police, you be running.
Right. Be gone. You got, especially with the stuff that they say he did. Like, anybody should have been running. Like, if you didn't run, that means you liked it. You didn't have no problem with it.
Yeah, I would agree.
Problem with it. No problem. It's like they overlook the big picture. It's like nowadays people only believe, like they got selective hearing and selective seeing. Like they only hear and see what they want to see. That's the same thing with the African Bambaataa when they accused him for molesting them boys.
Mm-hmm.
You remember him?
Mm-hmm. I remember him.
They accused, but you gotta remember, he's supposed to be molesting these dudes when they was in their 40s. How is that possible? How is that possible? That's why they lost that case, because they tried to get some money out of him too. They said, okay, we can sue him and get all the money he got left. Didn't work out because y'all was 40 years old getting molested. Man,
Free Jack, you just tell the truth, don't you?
I mean, it is what it is. That's why they love me. That's why my fans love me, because I keep it 100. I keep it real. I'm not gonna choose your side just because you're my friend. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Yeah. I might not tell you that in the presence of civilians, but when we get along, I'm gonna tell you, brother, you was wrong for that, and you need to fix that and correct that. So yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Someone was just saying Mr. Free Jack announced the march for R. Kelly coming up and attend the march. He's asking you, will you willing to attend the march? That's what I'm assuming. That's what he said. Of course, Rita.
Of course.
So you go know, huh? You with us, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm with it 100%. Of course, I'm definitely gonna be there. I'm gonna be there with the R. Kelly hat and T-shirt on.
Okay, thank you.
Like I said, my experience with R. Kelly is excellent. My experience, him with my team and my crew was excellent. We never witnessed none of that, and we never heard about none of that until now. That's why I don't believe it. That's why I know, like I said, maybe he did mess with the girls and young girls, but this was not rape. This was not nothing forceful. This was willingly. If you're in your right state of mind, everybody know that, like I said, them girls was more than honored to be in the presence of him, man. He's the biggest R&B singer of all times, man. Man is like, come on, man, that's crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna be at that march. Believe that. I'm definitely gonna be there.
Thank you. Someone said, do you think Rob should be responsible for other employees' action? Example, would be passing the wristband to get back to backstage. Okay, I guess what she's saying, say one of his managers decided to give somebody who's underage a wristband to go backstage, even though he's supposed to be 18, but the manager decided to find a 14 or 15-year-old give them a wristband and go back there. Do you think Robert should be responsible for him doing that?
No, I don't feel like that because one reason why, because I had a prior situation like that in Eureka, California. I did a show and one of my peoples passed a young girl a wristband and she lasted almost through the night. And what happened with him is he got fired and that was the end of him. But some people, you got to remember, some team members don't tell the boss what's going on. You never know. They had their own the securities had their own inside things going on. People drop jewelry. I done seen team members pick up people's juries and people do different stuff. So no, I don't think R. Kelly should be responsible for that because them people, that's what they did. Now, if he knew about it, that's another story.
Yeah.
But we don't know if he knew about it. You gotta give a person the benefit of the doubt. You're innocent until you're proven guilty. So no, at this point, no, he wasn't responsible for it. They was responsible for it. And they should be the ones getting the badgering for it. They should be the ones, whatever security guy let them in and did that, he need to be on front line too. They need to be talking about him because he played a big role in this whole situation. Look, maybe they the ones that's been sneaking the young girls in there. You just slide people in there with wristbands. They supposed to make sure that they're a certain age. So ain't no telling. We need to find out who they was.
Here's the deal. A lot of them are the ones that's going to the prosecutors and saying certain things, right? And then and then the other thing too, nobody else is being arrested for it, but they saying it's an enterprise. How can it be an enterprise when nobody else is being charged with anything else?
Because it's some animosity. It's because it's always something going on. It's somebody that don't want R. Kelly to win. It's either he done made somebody mad, and it ain't got nothing to do with no touching and all that. He done made somebody mad or something because they going in for him and for his inside people to fold like his brother. His brother is something else. R. Kelly brother, he a wild.
Have you ever met him?
I have not met him face to face, but I know people that dealt with him, and I've talked to him over the phone in situations when my manager would deal with certain things. His brother was involved in other like rap type of shit, but let me tell you about his brother is something else because his brother is wild. Like his brother is wild. Like, won't you tell the stuff that you did, brother?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Won't you tell the stuff that you did? Because half of the shit his brother said on documentary for real was the type of shit that his brother used to do.
Oh, wow.
You understand what I'm saying? So you didn't switch your brothers. You didn't put your story on your brother. I know that for a fact. How
do you know for a fact?
Because I know his brother. His brother socialized with somebody that I socialized with outside the music. It's like outside, like street stuff. And his brother is wild. His brother is wild. His brother is the freak. This is the real freak. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they got me in that one thing. So while his brother's sitting up there saying R. Kelly is bad,
you got to go. I know you have a meeting in a few.
Yeah, we got a meeting.
Okay.
But, so I couldn't wait to,
Someone else was asking a question. I was going to put one more question to you before you leave. Someone saying, Free Jack, do you think Robert asking for his catalog is the reason behind Robert's legal troubles now?
100%. Yep. Because that's the reason that Prince went through it. Michael Jackson, as soon as Michael Jackson wanted his, as soon as Bill Cosby wanted to buy that damn TV station, yeah, exactly. You get 100%. Because they know once he get that, it's over with. Nobody else gonna make no money with him. So I definitely believe this have a lot to do with it too. Yep. I'm willing to, 50%.
Good. I know you have to go, you have a meeting, but thank you so much. I would love to have you on my show again if possible. Thank you for
anytime.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You have a good afternoon, okay?
Okay.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, that was Free Jack. As you guys, I told you, he worked with Tupac. He's also did a tour with Robert for a 3-day tour, he said. I forgot the names of the people he will use. And also he worked with Dr. Dre for about 10 years. He also has some production things that's going on and things like that. So he is very, very much familiar with the entertainment industry. So and he says he's standing strong and doing whatever he can for Robert, and he's speaking to a couple of celebrities in regards to Robert's situation. So he's coming out. He's coming out, and you heard him. He says they're about to do some documentary of those celebrities who are willing to talk for Robert and stand up for Robert. So, like I told you earlier, God is turning those wheels, turning it. Folks are changing up. So I just wanted to give you that. I didn't know that was Live Jenkins. Is it Live Jenkins' brother? Is it? I don't know if that's Live Jenkins' brother. I didn't know that. I know he's in the industry. I know that because the other day when he called me, but I know for a fact he has worked with a lot of people. All right. So she's acting up. Okay. All right, guys, let's get back on track, guys. I just want to bring that up to you guys. I was hoping my girl Nakia will come in because I wanted to read the transcript from the court on from when no, Wish, don't listen to you digging me. No, Wish, no, he's not. Yeah. Wish, don't listen to you digging me. See, Tamika says, okay, Tamika says, Brucey and Mr. Freejack, we are Robert supporters. Thank you. Okay. So guys, there's a lot of people that's going to come through this channel who have reached out to me and they are supporters of Robert. There are some celebrities who also is behind the scene who wants to help Robert. They've seen the channels. They've seen the work that you guys are doing and how we're staying focused and staying strong on Robert. They're going to come through here and they're going to voice their opinion and how they feel what the industry is doing to Robert. As long as we keep praying, guys, as long as we keep believing and trusting God is going to see Robert through this, there are folks who are going to come and stand in the gap for him. They're going to come. And we just have to stay strong and praying. We have to continue believing what God has told us. And he is going to, you're going to see them coming through here. They're going to come through here and you'll see how they stand. And he even said he'll attend the march with you guys, with us. So you just got to keep praying. God is on the throne, y'all. He has never lost a case. None at all. We just have to be steadfast and believing that whatever God's will is, it will be done. There's a lesson in everything that we're experiencing right now. It's a lesson for every single one of us. Every single one of us. There's something that God wants to teach you through Robert's situation. And you might think it's about Robert. It could be about you. It's something, your faith might be shaking a little bit. And he wants to see if you have the faith that he's going to get Robert out of this. You never know what it is. But trust God, guys. Trust God. And things are going to be revealed to you, things that you never would imagine to be revealed. It's going to be revealed. And God is going to get the glory. No matter what the outcome is, God is going to get the glory. And God wants us to glorify him in this situation. It's a God thing. And I remember Will said that before, Will Eady. He said it's a God thing. It's a God thing. So you guys got to understand, no matter how bad it look, how bad it might feel, it's a God thing. This is when you have to anchor everything that's superficial that you thought was about God. He's really showing you himself in this situation. Real situation. He really showing you who he is. If you ever doubted if there's a God, this situation will teach you who he is, and allowing him to have his will. It's not what we say, how we want it. It's him, his will. Whatever his will in Robert's life, in our life, that's what he is magnifying right now for us. Some of us, there's stuff that you never believed. I have individuals who are who's on this channel who have been in a sick bed, y'all. But God has given them the strength to hang on because of this case. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. The hubby has sent me a message. Got to take care of the hubby. Hold on. Sorry, guys. All right, sorry. So every single one of us, this experience, this situation, this event, it's not going to be forever, right? But God is working something out in our own lives. Our own lives. But he's just using Robert as an instrument for us to look at. And he's showing he's using Robert as an example of how we should handle certain things when things are happening. Me just watching him not saying anything, how even though things are just looking so ugly, he's still believing and still trusting God. None of the letters I've seen, because I know some people say that it's not Robert writing, but this last lady that wrote had showed us her letter, and she showed where it was coming. She gave you the her Robert's building and everything for those who didn't believe that Robert was writing. I'm gonna go into that one and pull it up for you guys, because. And I was saying all that to say that in his letters, he's always been pleasant. All the letters that the different supporters have shared with me, I haven't heard him say anything bad. I haven't heard him cursing anybody out, saying anything negative. All he says is he thank you guys. He loves his fan and continue to pray for him, and that God is good. He says it in his letters, in his letters. And he is the perfect example how we should handle situation when things don't look good for us. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just pull it up. I had it the other day. I wish there was a way that you could save stuff on Twitter so you can go back to it. Nakia, help! Nakia? Okay, hold on a second. Just trying to see. Just bear with me, guys. I was trying to pull up that tweet, the Twitter of the person who actually who did the last letter. Anybody remember my chat on my thing? I'm in the bushes, ready to go drive home. Yes, I am. Amen. Cool JB says, get back. Amen, Cool J. Cool J. Cool BJ. You're right. Absolutely, Cool J. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to find the person's Twitter that showed her receiving a letter from Robert, and I was just showing you guys example how even though it's everything that's going on around Mr. Sylvester Kelly, he is still very pleasant and easygoing and grateful and nothing negative. And he's showing us how to be examples of when things go not going right in our lives, how we could still stand fast and still believe in God is on the throne, you know, and he's still standing strong in what he believes, you know, no matter what other people think. Okay, I'm having a hard time. Cha-cha. Not Cha-cha. Cha-cha, did I send that to you? Because I need somebody I need to send it to. Look at this. I was just looking at this. Okay. This guy here, where his DNA showed, I know I always go to different places, but this guy here, they just overturned his conviction because DNA came to play and it showed that he was not the person that did the crime. See, look at this. God's still on the throne, even with this guy's situation. Guys, where is it? Somebody, do you guys remember what I was playing the other day? What was the name of the person that had it? Sylvia, your YouTube channel. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Steph. You know what? You guys are the bomb. Thanks, Steph. Thank you, Stephanie. I knew somebody was paying attention in class. You know, I have to always do this class thing. Stephanie get Stephanie get the prize today for the classroom. You know, she gets free recess. She get to go outside. Hold on. She get to go outside where the class stay inside. All the ones that didn't get the answer got to stay inside. Oh, what? Wait, there's a whole bunch of them in here, y'all. There's a whole bunch of them. Hold on. Oh, found it. Thank you, Steph. Woo, Stephanie is the bomb. Hold on. Stephanie, you did it, girly. Okay, here it is. I'm going to bring it up.
I'm going to let you guys know this is all legit. I have legal documents stating that I have permission to write. What's up to all my R. Kelly fans? I have a message from Robert. Before we get started, I'm going to let you guys know this is all legit. I have legal documents stating that I have permission to write Robert. Robert is my brother in Christ. This is from the U.S. Department of Justice, from the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Robert Kelly, he's in Unit 19F. This is Robert's registered number. He is housed in the Metropolitan Correctional Facility. This is the date that they sent this letter. This letter states that I have permission to write and to send Robert things. Robert Kelly, there's his registered number, and that's where he's housed at. That's me. That's Leslie. Okay? Everybody knows Robert loves to draw. So Robert sends me pictures, and he wants everybody to know that he loves you all and he misses you all. Okay? This one right here, he says, tell everybody, thank you so much for the support. So much. He says, I'm holding on. He said, just pray for me. He says, P.S. I love my kids. I miss my kids. I love my fans. I miss my fans. I'm going to zoom in on that. He misses you guys. He just wants you guys to continue to pray for him. Robert draws angels. Everybody knows Robert loves a good stogie. He drew his stogie. That's his signature. That's his cup of joy. These are his angels. And he always loved to say God is good all the time, God is good. So just to let you guys know, Robert is in good spirits. He loves everybody. He misses everybody. He loves his fans. He misses fans. So I want you guys to know, to continue to keep Robert in prayer, continue to keep up the great comments. Robert will be home. He is coming home. It's my brother in Christ, and I'm going to ride till the wheels fall off of him. We forget we're human beings and we're Christians. We don't know. I don't judge. We don't even talk about it. All we talk about is him making good music. He is a musical genius. Thank you so much, Robert, for allowing me to be able to be in your life and to write you and to encourage you and to pray with you, my brother. Thank you, Robert Kelly.
Okay, now you see, You see his letters, y'all. I will only show this because I was just trying to show you guys that he is in the worst condition that anybody who has had so much is in, right? He is not complaining. He's not murmuring. He's not spewing hatred. He's not saying things that are ugly towards other people who might done him wrong. What he says is he speaks of love. He speaks of forgiveness. He speaks of things that are uplifting. Okay. And I see him as an example of how we should be. You know, all the negativity that is being spewed on the internet, all the negativity that has been like people been tearing each other down. Okay, guys, hold on, Mr. Freeman. Free Jack just put a message out. He says follow him on IG, guys. Go to IG and follow Free Jack Music and Freeman Williams on Facebook if you support R. Kelly. And he say, I love you, and if you don't, I love you, and if you don't. But guys, that's his those who wants to follow him, go ahead and follow him. He's with us, y'all. He's with us, and he's going to fight for Robert along with us. He's a supporter of Robert. Okay. I'm going to keep it up for a minute. But I was saying that I'm telling you, this 53-year-old brain sometimes, that's why I can't be distracted, because once I get distracted, I forget what I'm talking about. All right, somebody tell me, what was I talking about? What was I talking about, guys? Guys, go follow him, Mr. Freeman, please. Free Jack. Oh, God, I don't know. It's me and my brain sometime, y'all. I get so forgetful. I'm not forgetful. I'm not. I'm just going to, hold on a second. I'm going to go try to get him on IG. Free Jack. I'm going to go do my, okay, there he go. Okay, I got him. Hey, Free Jack, guess what? You and I got the same friend. You know, Danny Geechee. I see you and him are friends. Oh, his account is private, y'all. So he better accept me. Accept me right now, sir. Accept me. I just requested you just now. Infamous Sylvia. But anyway, guys, I believe God is using Robert as an example for us and how we need to act when such a situation happens to us and people make us mad, people talk about us, people mistreat us, that we should not fight fire with fire, that we need to just let God handle it. And that's what he's doing. He's allowing God to handle it. Why is Randall laughing at me? We should just let God handle the situation. And that's what Robert is doing. And you notice God is fighting his battle. God is fighting his battle. Okay, now, let's move on. Do you guys want me? Do Mr. Free Jack do you have a YouTube channel, Mr. Free Jack? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have a YouTube channel? Because people looking for your YouTube channel. No, you don't have a YouTube channel. He's gonna be on my channel. Let me stop. Just joking. I'm just joking. He's gonna be on my channel. Okay, I'm trying to find his Facebook now. Are you the first one? Oh, that's not you. There's a couple of Freeman on here. Oh, there you go. The real Free Jack. Okay, I got you. This is the one that's him on Facebook, y'all. That's him. See? See, guys? You see him? That's the real one. Oh, Randy got it. Randy's such a show off, man. I tell you, she always show it off. Get stuff before people and she shows off. Okay, but that's his page right now. God is good. Definitely, Marshall. God is good. But that's him, guys. Guys, we're going to be having some folks up in this place. Those who are coming out to help Robert. The more we keep standing for Robert, the more others are going to be free enough to come in and step in and get the thing going. Okay. Do you guys need me to end this and then we just start over? Because we're going to talk about the that motion. I think it was who asked me to do this. Who asked me to do this? Somebody asked me. I don't remember who asked me. One of you guys asked me to do this. I went and pulled the transcript for you guys. Okay, I do, guys. I do. Someone did send me the list that Trump has for people he's pardoning, and on the list here, let's see. Let's see, list here. I don't have anybody. Okay, his list of clemency. Okay, he has these names I've never seen before. I don't see anybody. Yeah, these are some old stuff. Michael Flynn, he got that. Seems like he got people that's his friends on this list here. Thank you for accepting me, Mr. Jack, Free Jack. I'm just going through Trump's list here. I don't see any people of our color in here. Nope, y'all, nobody from us. They just released a list of people that he's given pardon. Did you really think he would get somebody of our color? I'm just saying. No, nobody that looked like me. But anyway. Do you guys, I didn't answer my question. Everybody's trying to go and get Mr. Freeman's thing to. I'm not taking calls. Okay. All right. So Nichelle said, Sylvia and Chad, my first time commenting on your chat. Just wanted to speak out and say I support R. Kelly. I thank you for stepping up and out on the fight for him. God bless you. God bless you too, Nichelle. Thank you for coming to our chat. Thank you for speaking up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God is changing things. We just have to stay steadfast. Okay. I stand with Robert Sylvester Kelly, regardless of what. I stand with Robert. I'm going to stick with him till the wheels fall off. Till the wheels fall off. And whatever I can do, I am here. If God gives me an able body and the know-how and the resources or whatever it is, I know God's got me because I'm standing for someone that needs my help. I don't think there would be any that looks like us on that list. I know Angel. Hey, Yvette. So, and you heard Mr. Free Jack. He will be back on our channel, this channel. He will be back. So look forward to hearing more from him because he is standing for Robert. He's standing and he is speaking with a lot of different celebrities. He's working with a lot of different celebrities. He knows a lot of people who wants to help Robert. And he cannot tell you who and what they're doing, but trust me, guys, they are doing some things behind the scene, and they just can't come out in the open right now. The only person that really can come out in the open is us regular people, because what are they gonna do to us? What are they going to do to us? His Facebook name is Freeman Williams. That's his Facebook name. What are they going to do? I don't have those big elaborate job that somebody could take away from me because I am standing on what I believe. No. Nope. Not at all. So I'm trusting God that I believe there's a movement. Things are turning around. I see God moving. I see him moving. They laughed at me when we first started praying for Robert, and back in August when I first started. Now, I started praying for him way before August, but when I made myself on the YouTube praying for Robert and standing there and showing them that what my belief is, they laughed. They said that when I started praying, Robert got his butt kicked and all this kind of stuff, negativity. People think that when you pray, God is some sort of genie, and whatever you ask for, he grant. People don't understand God is the creator of the whole universe. We don't tell him what to do. He tells us what to do. And that's what people think, trying to think that, okay, I rub this genie and then God tells me, I tell God what to do. You don't tell God what to do. You ask him, and then you ask if his will is to be done. If not, he's going to teach you how. He will teach you how to accept what he has given to you. And he's going to give you grace enough to deal with whatever you have to deal with. Okay. I do not know the logistics to the walk. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the walk, but someone put it out on the page, and that's what I just mentioned to Mr. Freeman about it. Okay. Mr. Free Jack. I call him Mr. Freeman, but Free Jack. I don't know the logistics. You probably would have to ask whoever is the organizer for it. Mr. Jack Fly Leaks. I hope you're not in here for entertainment. Because if you are, I'm going to delete you and I'm going to block you. So let's stay on track, okay? Let's stay on track. You guys didn't answer my question. Do you want me to go ahead on and read that transcript, or do you just want to do you want me to close this out and then start a new one, or what? What do you want me to do? Let me know, because it's 107 you guys in here. Let me go ahead on and start the transcript, or close it out, or just do which way you want. It's your show. Tell me, what do you want? How do y'all want it? I'm gonna ask Nakia. Nakia, what do you want? How do you want me to handle this? Do you want me to go ahead and read the indictment? I mean, not indictment, the transcript. Are you guys? Is it an overload on you, or what do you want? Rita, can you email me her information? You said continue. Okay, Tamika. Tamika said continue on. You Digging Me said new. Okay. Okay. Tamika got in to say it first before you did. You digging me, so I'm gonna. Too late. Too late. Too late. Y'all too late. Tamika answered it first. So y'all vote don't count no more because she stepped in it first. She stepped in and said, she said continue. See, that was the first person that said something. She said continue. He said continue. Tamika said continue. That's what she said. So y'all have to. And then Nakia gonna come in, her late self say, no, too late. All right, Nakia, can you come in, please? I'm gonna put my link in, and I'm gonna Nakia, I'm gonna look at your email. I'm gonna send it to you right now. Hold on, Nakia. You popped up, so I'm gonna send it to you. Nakia, look at your email. Randa baby, I'm gonna send it to you too. Come on, our computer is taking its time. Come on. All right, here we go. Nakia. Randa baby. Who else is willing to come in and read for me? Jeff Father, you over here and you drag me and Sylvia. Yeah, why is he over here anyway? Tamika. Randa's not playing. All right, anybody else want to read with us? Anybody else want it so you can read? I'm only giving those who's willing to read. Your voice is not going. Randa, stop telling lies. Stop. All right, anybody else wants to read? Lavelle, you said you want to read? I'm going to send it to Dom. Dom is probably in the bushes and he needs to come out. Dom, I just sent it to you. Anybody else before I get out of this? Anybody else want to? Lavelle, you said yes. Unique thoughts. Unique, do I have your email? Unique, do I have your email? Tamika wants to read. Tamika, you want to read? Tamika, send me your email, sparks1565@gmail. Okay, Tamika, here's my email. Send it to me, and I'll add you onto it. I spelled mail wrong, Gmail wrong. Hold on. Sparks 15. My moderators sucks because they see me struggling trying to put my email in there, and then they don't even help a sister out. Don't even help. You sleepy? Okay. No, I need more. Y'all, why you trying to throw Tamika in there? Tamika, she just mad because you got to say it first. Unique says no. Nobody wants. Okay, y'all just like, but then y'all want somebody to read. Tell you. All right, I'm gonna read it myself. I can't even get any help from no one. Nobody wants to help the sister out. Okay, Nakia. Nakia, you coming in? Was it? Who is the person that actually wanted me to do this? You digging me? Says she'll read. Okay, you know what? This class, I'm gonna have to cancel class in a minute because I have some students in here who do not want to read. I have students who do not want to read. They don't want to read. What is going on here? Hold on. All right, hold on a second. I can't even get students to even read. My goodness. Okay, Nakia, I just sent it to you. Look into your email. Ma'am, it's a transcript. You didn't get it. You tell lies, Randa. You got it. It didn't bounce back to me. I just can't. You know what? I can't with you guys. I can't with you guys. I can't. You guys just act up. All right, here we go. I'm going to bring it up on my screen here. I just can't. You people, man. You guys just misbehave. Oh, my God.
Damn, you let me in hella fast.
Huh?
You let me in here hella fast. I literally just clicked on.
I know. I've been waiting on y'all.
Bruh. We don't want you to read it. Tell Microsoft to read it.
Microsoft?
Yeah. Yeah. Because then you're going to make me sleep if you read.
Really? Really? That's how y'all feel about me, huh?
Look, I'm just saying. Where Nakia at? Nakia, bring your butt on. She wants you to read it.
Someone asked about it, okay? And
Wait, what is this about?
this is a transcript of when
Okay. This is the transcript. So Nakia gonna have to come on here because Nakia, we're gonna have to play. It's like a play, Nakia. And I know you in the chat. I know you in the bushes.
Right there. She said, oh my God, 40 pages.
Yeah, I know you in them bushes. Yeah, come on. I'm gonna be one person, you be another person. Come on.
You could just start from what the court proceeding when they start talking, okay? We don't have to read all the extra stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm not I'm not reading all that extra stuff.
You digging me? Wow, Lord Jesus.
Hey, 40 pages. What is this one about? Which court hearing?
This is the federal court hearing.
I know when. What's the date on here?
It's back last year, 2019. He asked a question.
Wait. Who want to hear this?
Okay, all right. Let me read this because I'm having a hard time with these people.
No, I'm just asking questions.
I'm having a hard time with these people.
Hold on. I'm just asking you questions. Who want to hear this though?
Someone
Which one of y'all in the chat said it? Whoever said in the chat should be up here on this panel. That's who should be up here. All right.
They even gave me the title.
Who gave you the title? Who gave you the title?
Where was Steve responding? I said, "Oh, that's a good idea to talk about that." Should I tell who it was? Shannon? Shannon, where are you? Shannon Harris?
Ooh, in the bushes. Now y'all got me. Okay. All right. Y'all know I put on all these different characters in a minute. All right. And if I feel like it's boring, I'm not going to read it.
It's not
Just
boring.
so y'all,
What happened at court?
just so y'all know. If I feel like somebody's boring talking, I'm not going to read. Okay. I'm going to start where it says the court, good afternoon. Okay. That's on page. Huh?
3? Page 3?
Yep.
Okay.
Even though I think you should be the court.
Okay, I'll be the court. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Go ahead. You're not finished.
Oh, God. 19 CR 567, United States versus Kelly.
Good afternoon.
Oh, my God. I mean, keep saying it. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Angel Cruel, Abigail Peluso, whatever, Peluso, and Janice something on behalf of the United States. Greenberg. Good morning, Your Honor. Steve Greenberg, Mike Leonard, and Chris Groom, who promises he's going to electronically file his appearance today.
All right.
God. Hold on.
Greenberg. On behalf of
I lost my place.
On behalf of Mr. Kelly, who is present.
Pretrial Services Officer. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jeffrey Arias on behalf of Pretrial Services.
Okay. This is.
Are you really trying to put on a voice right now, bro?
This is
okay. We doing voices. Okay. Let's go. We doing voices.
Okay. This is the defendant's petition for bond.
Yes.
Okay. The government has. I've received the pretrial service.
Nakia backstage.
Okay, hold on. Let me go get Nakia. Hold on.
We playing this game. We playing this damn game.
Shit.
You gonna be Miss Cruel. You gonna be Miss Cruel, Nakia.
I'm Miss Cruel.
Yep.
I gotta be the bad person.
Because I'm gonna be Greenberg.
Okay. All right. Where we at?
Okay, I'm at the judge. I'm in the court.
She's on page 3 over there where it says the court. Okay, the government has.
Okay, the government has. I've received the pretrial services report. I think I have 2 of them, one for New York case and one for this case. And it's my understanding we are consolidating the matter for hearing today. Is that correct?
Hold on, y'all. I don't know where y'all at. I'm trying to find
Okay, you need to fix your phone too. I think you need to go out and come back in because you over there definitely over there. I hear echo.
My phone messing up?
Oh. I hear echo.
Hold on.
Hey,
I'm gonna go out and come back in.
All right, well, I'll be Miss Cruel until she come back. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Shut up, you two.
You agree? Okay, you agree. Okay. It's my understanding that further that the government contend that some of the counts required the presumption of there are no condition, which would then make the burden on the defendant. Do you agree, Mr. Greenberg?
I agree that some of the counts do, yes.
And how do you wish to proceed? If you, let me ask this, does the government intend to call live witnesses or are you going to pro-offer or what?
Miss Cruel, is Nakia backstage? Did she come back yet?
Hold on. Yes, she is. Hold on.
Okay, now let her go read that shit. Go ahead.
Okay, where I'm at? Where y'all at?
You on page 4.
I'm on page 4.
Oh my God.
Okay. Is that line 12, right?
You on? Yeah, go ahead. That's you.
Okay. We do not intend to call live witnesses. We intend to proceed by proffer and joint presentation on both cases.
All right. Do the defendant intend to provide call any witnesses?
No, Your Honor. We're going to rely on the recommendations of the pretrial services report and argument.
Okay. And so the government, then would you proceed then?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, do you want us to stay here or?
Well, probably seat.
Thank you.
The proffer is not quite the same as a testimony.
Right, but I'm guessing it will be lengthy.
So there won't be any cross-examination. Let me ask this. How long do you think the proceeding will take?
Your Honor, my argument is less than a half an hour long.
All right.
I'll be seated.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Gruhl, you may proceed.
The defendant, Robert Sylvester Kelly, should be detained pending his trial because first, he is an extreme danger to the community, especially to minor girls. Second, he poses a serious risk of obstruction of justice in his current case, which also makes him a danger to the community. And third, he poses a serious risk of flight now that he's facing more serious charges with mandatory prison time. In this case, as you noted, Your Honor, detention is presumed under the Bail Reform Act because the defendant is charged with producing child pornography, among other things. So detention, Your Honor, is our starting point, and it's the defendant's burden to rebut the presumption of detention, which it simply cannot do. The defendant here is charged with incredibly serious crimes involving the sexual abuse of young teen girls, some as young as being in middle school at the time. Middle school, we're talking 7th, 8th grade girls. And it didn't happen once or twice. He sexually abused them hundreds of times before they turned 18. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Our investigation has identified many more girls who are sexually abused by the defendant, and our investigation is far from over. The evidence against the defendant is overwhelming. It includes hard evidence, direct evidence, in the form of 3 videos showing this man, Robert Kelly, sexually abusing a young girl who was only 14 years old at the time. These videos are extremely disturbing to watch, and they show defendants' psycholistic abuse of a 14-year-old girl. These videos also show defendants' particular sexual interest in young girls because he repeatedly tells the girls to refer to her body parts, specifically her genitalia, as being only 14 years old. And he does it in such a way that shows his sexual interest to girls that particular age. The girl's age is repeated at least 15 times on the video. These videos, including by the defendant's own mouth. Also, on these videos, the defendant makes the girls call him daddy over and over again. And there is no question that it is the defendant on these videos. There are extreme close-ups of the defendant's face on these videos. 2 of the videos are filmed in very distinctive rooms at his former home, and the victim in all 3 of the videos, she herself has testified under oath that it was Robert Kelly in all 3 videos sexually abusing her when she was 14 years old. There are at least 5 witnesses who will collaborate with that victim. That evidence is overwhelming, Your Honor. The defendant repeatedly sexually abused a 14-year-old girl. He filmed it, and we have the videos to prove it. That weighs in favor of detention. But that's not all, Your Honor. In addition to the sexual abuse of at least 5 minors, several victims reported defendant's physical abuse in addition to the sexual abuse, hitting, slapping, punching, and spanking. And beyond the physical harm, there's the physiological harm that also must be considered in determining whether defendant is a danger to the community. Both the Illinois and the New York indictments list examples of the defendant's manipulative and controlling behaviors that impose lasting harm to the victims in cases like this. And that's particularly so when the defendant is not in custody. Because these victims fear him, all of this makes the defendant a further danger to the community. But hold on. But what sets this case apart from so many others, and what makes the defendant even more of a danger to the community, is the defendant's intensive history of obstruction of justice, the threats, the intimidation, the witness tampering, the hush money payments, all outlined in count 5 of the indictment. And these aren't just mere arguments from a prosecutor. This is what the defendant is actually charged with. A grand jury found probable cause that the defendant obstructed justice in all of those ways. The risk of obstruction is real. The risk is ongoing, and the risk of obstruction is hiding by the defendant's fame and power, who emboldens him to give and gives him a unique ability to influence and intimidate witnesses and victims, and dates back to the 90s. First, that's factually.
You forgot. Now I expect the defendant to argue.
Yeah. Now that I expect the defense will argue that the defendant should be released because this conduct is old and dates back to the 90s. First, that's factual, just not true. Count 5 of the indictment, the conspiracy to obstruct justice, that count alleges conduct right up to the present day. And the New York indictment includes conduct in 2015 against a minor and in 2018 against an adult victim. So it's just wrong to say that these cases deal only with old conduct. But second, and perhaps more importantly, so what? There is no statute of limitations for producing child pornography and enticing a minor to engage in sexual activity. If the defendant was sexually attracted to middle school girls to 8th grade girls in 1999, then he's still attracted to middle school girls and 8th grade girls right here in the present. He sexually assaulted those girls hundreds of times. Being sexually attracted to young girls is not something that you can just turn on and off like a light switch. It hasn't just magically gone away. It's who the defendant is. It's what he's been doing for most of his adult life, and that, Your Honor, makes him a danger today. The defendant's team has also argued that these new federal charges in Illinois and New York are just for the same conduct that the defendant was acquitted of in 2008. Again, not true. There are 13 counts in the Illinois indictment and 5 counts in the New York indictment. That's 18 total counts. Only one of those 18 total counts is the same as the state court trial in 2008. That means that the defendant is facing 17 new criminal counts that he has never faced before. And what about that one count that does overlap with the old state case? That one count of the Illinois indictment. The United States Department of Justice very deliberately charged count 1 of the indictment, even though the defendant was acquitted of the state charge based on the same conduct. And that's because the defendant obstructed justice as he ensured that the state trial was not a fair trial. He threatened and he intimidated minor one's family and other witnesses. He provided hush money payments, and he manipulated and controlled minor victims into lying about their abuse. Charging this conduct in the Illinois indictment sends a message that no one is above the law, not even a famous musician with lots of money and power. Now, the defendant will say that he's not a flight risk because he has showed up to all his court hearings in the past. But the stakes have significantly changed. He is now, for the very first time, facing a mandatory minimum of 10 years imprisonment and up to a maximum of 195 years on the Illinois indictment alone. On top of that, New York has a possible sentence of up to 80 years, and that changes everything. And before last Thursday, the defendant faced only the same court system at the same courthouse where where he illegally obtained a acquittal by obstructing justice, and he likely thought that he would do it again. Now he has federal charges. He had little incentive to flee then. Now he does. The very obstruction of justice that saved him last time is charged in this new indictment. And so he knows it won't work this time, because this time his victims are cooperating with law enforcement. And that, Your Honor, is the incentive to flee. There are no release conditions that can mitigate these dangers. Electronic monitoring and home incarceration are just insufficient here. Electronic monitoring does nothing about the obstruction of justice. It does nothing to prevent witness tampering. Defendant could easily obstruct justice from the comfort of his home, even if he has an ankle bracelet, but not so from the MCC, where his communication will be monitored. And on top of that, the defendant can entice girls to his own doorstep. He doesn't have to leave his home to do that, especially when he has assistants and others working who enable him, as alleged in New York racketeering charge. So electronic monitoring and home incarceration are insufficient to protect the public, to protect the victims, and to protect the witnesses from defendant's obstruction of justice. Finally, Your Honor, the defendant has already shown his intention to disrespect this court by not being fully upfront with pretrial services. When pretrial services asked him about his prior marriages, defendant conveniently left out his first marriage in 1994. And that's because that marriage was to a minor girl who was only 15 years old at the time, and the defendant was 27 years old. The marriage happened right here in the Northern District of Illinois, and the defendant knew that the girl was only 15 years old when he married her. Defendant was not upfront and truthful with pretrial services during his interview. Defendant mentioned only his second marriage, and he conveniently left out the first marriage because it incriminates him. He could have simply declined to answer that question if he didn't want to disclose it, but instead he chose to lie and only talk about his second marriage.
Greenberg?
Judge, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm going to object to that. And maybe I'll be a witness. He did decline to answer the question. I was there.
That I don't know. The record will be. Okay. You established the record. Where that's true or not.
Whether
that's true or not, I don't know.
All I know, Your Honor, is that not reported in the pretrial services report that the government received that it was a declaration to talk about his first marriage. Your Honor, the defendant is a danger to the community. He is a risk of flight, and he poses serious risk of obstruction of justice. For all the reasons that I've just laid out, the government respectfully requests that the court detain the defendant pending his trial here in the Northern District of Illinois, and then also for any transport to New York to face the charges there. Thank you.
Court.
Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody was posting something stupid in my chat. I just blocked them.
You're supposed to be paying attention to this.
I'm sorry. Is New York going to make a presentation on its own?
No, Your Honor, they're not.
Okay, so your presentation covers both? So?
Correct.
Mr. Greenberg?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, first of all, I just do want to address the pretrial services report. I sat in on the interview the other day, which is not something typically that we typically, I guess, do But as indicated in response, when they asked about marriage, he declined to answer certain questions at my suggestion. Beyond that, Judge, Mr. Kelly is 52 years old. He's been a lifelong resident, essentially, of Illinois, except for brief stints in other jurisdictions. He lived in Miami when he was recording the album for a time. He lived in Atlanta for a couple of years. He lived here with two young ladies. In the media, they referred to these ladies as somehow as hostages or slaves or whatever. They move freely about. They live their lives. It may not be how you or I or some other people may not choose to live two girlfriends at the same time. That's how they choose to live. And in fact, they're here in court today to support them. They're back here in the first row, Your Honor. What?
I was telling her to mute because I keep hearing the feedback on her thing.
So they're certainly not hostages. They're certainly not being held kidnapped. And that's sort of how this started. Late last year, when the father of one of them was claiming that he couldn't see his daughter, we set up numerous meetings since I've been involved with Mr. Kelly, and they've never shown up for those meetings. He has two children. He's estranged from his children who live here. Even though he's estranged from his children, he pays child support every month. At one point, Judge, he fell behind on child support. He got jailed until he came up with the money. He came up with the money. He paid the child support. His child support is current and being paid. Even though he doesn't see his kids, even though his career is not what it was, he's still paying that. He doesn't travel in connection with the Illinois proceedings. I turned in his passport. I looked at the passport before I turned it in. It was 7 or 8 years old. It didn't have a single stamp in it. He hadn't been anywhere, hasn't traveled around the United States for the last years. Every once in a while, he goes to play a concert somewhere and he'll travel to the court. And I've said this before, unlike this song, his most famous song, which is I Believe I Can Fly, Mr. Kelly doesn't fly. He doesn't like to fly. He drives to concerts unless it's somewhere he can't fly to. So, for instance, if he has a concert in California, he may have to take a plane. He gets medicated. He goes on the flight. That's one of the reasons he never travels to do concerts internationally, because he doesn't like to fly. He's got a van. He travels in his van. So he's not a risk to go to the airport and take off. And frankly, he would be recognized anyway. He's not going anywhere. He has no family or friends that reside outside the United States. He has no contact with people under 18. No one under 18 lives with him. No one under 18 lives around him. And they had to ask questions about the internet and so forth. He has internet. He records on a computer and he records. Obviously, you have to use the internet to do something with the computer. And right now, Your Honor, he lives in a small, it's essential 1-bedroom, I think they call it, plus den unit in Trump Tower on the 48th floor, a secure building. Obviously, he lives there and he records there. He's taking the den. He's got some computer equipment in there. And with today's technology, you can make a guitar and he can make it keyboards and all of that. And that's what he does. And he basically stays in that unit unless he's walking his dog or going outside, as he likes to do from time to time, and smoking a cigar. He has no criminal record. And I'll get into the earlier case in a minute. But he has no criminal record. There are the 3rd and 4th cases that Mr. Kelly has been charged with of real substance. Actually, there's a 4th and 5th. He got charged with a case in Florida that was dismissed back then, back when the other charges were pending in Illinois, back in 2002 to 3. He had a case from 2002 to 2008. It was pending in state court here in Illinois. There were dozens of court dates, dozens of court dates. He was required to appear, the best I've been able to determine, at each of those court dates. He appeared each of those court dates. He is facing extraordinarily serious charges at the time, Your Honor. The prosecutors may want to look down onto the state court and the integrity of the state court proceedings. Those were extraordinarily serious. They were child pornography charges he was facing. By my reading of the charges, possibly consecutive time, and he went to trial on over 10 charges. He was looking at significant jail time. And he went to trial. He had to go to trial. I keep hearing this, from the prosecution, and I see what they've done in their indictment. Obviously, I'm not privy to the evidence at this point, but they say that the case was somehow rigged. He went to trial. He wasn't. If it was, he didn't take a bench trial. He had a jury. He didn't. No one says he paid off the jurors or anything. He had 12 people. Those 12 people watched the video in that case. The video in that case got played. Same video that they're talking about. The witness in that case that they got here testified before the grand jury. Her parents testified before the grand jury back then. That wasn't her. And the jury heard all the evidence. The jury heard from the people, from other people, and the jury watched the video. And the jury acquitted Mr. Kelly. If the fix was in, he went through an awful lot because the fix was in. He was definitely at jeopardy in that case. Now, I don't know what their evidence is. I don't know what people who maybe knew Mr. Kelly was. He had fine attorneys. He had Sam Adams, Jr. and Sr. He had Mr. Jensen on the case. I don't know what they're saying was going on with that case because I haven't seen it. But Mr. Kelly had to go to trial. He had to face those jurors. He had to sit through a closing argument and a rebuttal closing argument where someone pointed their finger at him and said, based on the evidence here, we think you're guilty. They thought that they had presented enough evidence. If they had such problems with their evidence on that case, they wouldn't have gone to trial, the prosecutors. And I talked to those prosecutors about that case. They certainly never suspected that anything was untoward in that case. He never missed a court date, never was late for court date, charged again here in Illinois this year. And again, they poo-poo these charges. He's charged with Class X felonies here in Illinois. And again, facing potential consecutive time on a Class X felonies. He showed up for the court. The state indicted him. The state called me up. They said, we're going to add charges on the case. When do you want to go? When do you want to come to court and be arraigned? We picked a date. He showed up. He showed up on time. He pled not guilty to those charges. And the state didn't even ask the judge to raise the bond on that case because there's no reason to believe that he is not going to show up. On the state case, Judge, he posted $100,000. They had $25,000 he had to post. A $250,000 D bond on each of those 4 cases. So it's $100,000 total. That's posted on the case. He's being mentioned by pretrial services in the state court. They've never had a problem. They check on him. He does what he's supposed to do. They tell him to call. He calls when he's supposed to call. They tell him where to be. He's where he has to be. There's not any problem there. The fact that Mr. Kelly was getting charged in state court was no surprise to anyone. There was this, as they like to call it, documentary. I don't really think it was a documentary, but they call it that. And he gets charged. He turns himself in. They called me up. They said, hey, we charged. This is original, not on the increased charges, the original charges. They called me up. We charged him with felonies. We'll give him 24 hours to turn himself in. We made arrangements. Went to the police station, turned himself in. Cooperated with them. They wanted to take a DNA sample. Sure, take the DNA sample. All that. He did that knowing that when I talked to the prosecutors about bond, they would not agree to a bond with me. So he did that full well knowing that he could be held without bond on the state charges. And had they called me on this and they knew I was representing him, had they called me on this, they wouldn't have had to pull up and arrest him, walking his dogs outside the Trump Tower. If they would have said, bring him in, we would have brought him in just like before. They argue that he's a flight risk when every single time, he has voluntarily appeared. He hasn't fled. He hasn't missed court. He hasn't been late for court. It was no secret. He was under investigation here, Judge. It's been common knowledge. He's under investigation here. He's under investigation in the Eastern District of New York. There may even be a second investigation in the Southern District of New York that I've heard. It's a well-known fact. If Mr. Kelly was going to flee, he would have left then. He would have already left. He's not a flight risk at all, and I'm shocked that they even argue that they would even argue that. When they pulled up to arrest him, gosh, he didn't try to run. He texted me shortly before he saw the cars out there. I can show the government the text messages. He saw the cars out that were out there. Your Honor, he didn't go back into the Trump Tower. He didn't go lock himself. He stood there smoking a cigar and walking his dog. He was polite. He was cooperative. There was absolutely no reason to believe that he would flee. How could he flee? He has no money. Mr. Kelly filed for bankruptcy 4 or 5 years ago. He doesn't, to the best of what I've been able to determine, own the royalties to his songs. Those were stolen from him. He would get small checks from time to time because my understanding, I've learned a little bit about the business now in this case. They don't make money from selling music anymore because you could go on streaming services and the streaming services charge a small monthly fee. So the money's in concert, and he doesn't play any concert these days. He hasn't played any concerts for a while. So every once in a while, he'll get a check. It might be 30 to 40,000. I think he got one that was a little bit bigger than that for royalty payment. He got a check when Sony, I think it was Sony, canceled his contract. There was arrangements as to how much it was. That money is gone. What did he do with that money? He didn't put the money when he got it. He got almost 400,000 right around the time of the state charges. I think right after that, the state charges. He didn't put that money in a safe in his house or in a hidden box somewhere. He put that money in a bank account under his own name. And what happened? He had gotten evicted from his recording studio, and the people who evicted him seized the money in his bank account. And a big chunk of it went to pay because he owed child support. So he paid it to back child support. And some of it went to pay his state court bond. And there was nothing left. He prepaid his apartment. I believe it's paid for close to either until December or January 1st in Trump Tower. He's prepaid that, and he has no other money to live on. He's got no money to flee on. He'll get a little check here and a little check there, and maybe some friends will help him. They say that he lives a lavish lifestyle, but he doesn't live a lavish lifestyle. They say that he faces a mandatory minimum sentence of 10 years. Now he's in some grave danger. He was facing a mandatory minimum sentence of 6 years before, and he was still showing up. I don't see that as a sea change in what he's facing. They claim, Your Honor, that Mr. Kelly is a danger to minors. The way the indictment is written is very typical. It's vague as to what things are. And I understand why they write the indictments that way, but the dates are in there. So except for one allegation, which I can't figure out what they're really saying in it, the allegation dates back to the 90s. Now I understand statute limitations and all that, but they date back to the 90s. They've been investigating him state. They've been investigating him federally. They've gone on TV and said, call us if you had a problem with R. Kelly. They've gone to TV. Other people, not the law enforcement, has said, we'll pay for your story if something has happened with R. Kelly. Yet we're still dating back 2 decades on allegations regarding minors, except for one very vague thing that they've put in on one of those indictments. There's no evidence that he's a risk to minors at all at this point. And they talk about the psychological risk or something like that. I don't know what that is. But whatever it is attaining, Mr. Kelly isn't going to fix someone if someone's got some kind of psychological issues because of something happening to them. Those aren't connected at all. In fact, the only proof here is that he isn't a danger to minors. The fact that it's been 2 decades since there were these allegations shows that he isn't. They say that he's a danger because he's going to obstruct justice in this case, just like he did before. And I don't have whatever their evidence is, but I can tell you a little bit. And these are no secret. I'm not secrets. This is well known about Mr. Kelly and Mr. Kelly's business. Mr. Kelly had a business manager. He had a lawyer. He had an accountant. He had people who worked for him, other people working for him, all of whom have a lot of money now. All of them have a lot of money now, but Mr. Kelly doesn't. He doesn't have any money. It's not a secret that Mr. Kelly doesn't read. He doesn't write. Now, if other people did something when he was facing trial before because they wanted to protect, the money tree, I don't know about that. I haven't seen the evidence on that. But he wasn't doing it. He wasn't doing it. And let me tell you why. Even if the government says he's a danger because of obstruction charges, why their argument impeaches itself? He's charged in that court with 2 other people, Darren McDavid, and everyone has always told me Darren McDavid was the guy who ran it. He was the business guy. He was the accountant, and he was the business guy. He was the guy who handled all Mr. Kelly's affairs, and a guy named June Brown. The government agreed to recognize bonds for Daryl McDavid and June Brown. June Brown, I think, turned himself in Las Vegas. My understanding is he got a recognizant bond. Daryl McDavid turned himself in here, and he got the same bond. But here he's charged with obstruction. If obstruction is such a danger and such a risk to everybody, then why did the government agree for the bond for Daryl McDavid? And I'm sure they've got their reasons, but it certainly shows that that charge doesn't imply that anyone's in danger. Frankly, Mr. Kelly, well, there's no evidence, Your Honor, at this point, and there's no evidence because it hasn't happened that since Mr. Kelly has heard these rumors rolling around, which have been around now for probably a year and a half, 2 years about criminal charges and so forth, that he's done nothing to any witness, to anyone that make them think that who might be a witness, taking any action at all. There's no suggestion that since the state court charges were filed, that Mr. Kelly has done anything wrong at all. Anything. Hasn't talked to a witness, hasn't interfered with the witness, and I don't even think the condition of his state court bond. That was the condition of his state court bond. Was that a condition, Steve, that he not have contact with anyone? Was it a condition? Okay, it's a condition of his bond. That he's compiled with that. But he complied with it before it was a condition of his bond. He didn't do anything. Now they say that all of this is different and all of this is different charges, different victims and all that. We respectfully disagree, Your Honor. We think that there is a great overlap, and we think that some of the case is, in fact, overreaching. For instance, where they've got where they've got predicate acts in a RICO prosecution because you could have transmitted a sexually transmitted disease in violation of state law. They're making it a RICO case. I know they've got other allegations. They've got things like that in the case. We think that they're terribly overreaching. We think that they're trying to criticize how consenting adults who never complained for years and years, all of a sudden say, oh, no, I didn't want to be in that kind of relationship. There was something about that relationship. These people are their witnesses, have been on greatest hits tours since this first hit. They've been on TV. They went to the awards in Las Vegas, the MTV Awards, and got an award for the documentary. They went to some other award show, and we've got this. They tweet and the video, and this is great. My mom has never been. The one girl who is charged, she says, one of the people in the state case, my mommy's never been to anything like this. I'm so happy I got to bring my mother to this. I mean, give me a break. That's what this has turned into. They've got in here that he was forcing people to do labor. I have no idea what they're talking about. Was he forcing the girl to collect tickets? Was he forcing her to take a record? Was it? What is it? It's so vague. We can't respond. We can't attack it, but we're going to attack it. Mr. Kelly's condition, Judge, another factor I think the court can take into consideration. He is in the SHU, which is a special housing unit. He's in the SHU because, frankly, for the MCC or any other institution, Mr. Kelly is a difficult prisoner to have there because of other prisoners. Not because of anything Mr. Kelly is going to do, but because of his notoriety. Mr. Kelly, there's going to be an enormous amount of discovery in this case. He can't read and he can't write. Someone's going to have to sit down with him hour after hour after hour, day after day, and go through the discovery. That's virtually impossible to do if he's in custody. In the SHU, he gets 15 minutes a week to speak on the phone. Not like other inmates. There's no day room. There's no television because that's normally the hope. That's where they take people who are in trouble. There's no television and he can't read, so there's no books to read. There's no nothing. He literally sits there in isolation all day long. And if we go there to meet with him, the attorneys on the case, we went over there yesterday. What would you guys say? The room is 6 by 8, probably a 6 foot by 8 foot room, and we'll all be crammed in there. That's the room that we have to meet with him, and they have to shut everything else down while we do it. They have to shut everything else down while we do it. Now, whatever you might think of the charges, whatever the government may think or the public may think of the charges, that man's going to have to prepare for trial. And the man's entitled to be held in a humane situation. We have reviewed all the conditions listed in the pretrial services report. He doesn't have a passport. That's been taken by the state. We have no objection to any of the conditions they have listed in the report. And we believe that it's perfectly appropriate in this case that he should be allowed to return home, whether it's electronic monitoring or home detention or whatever. I know there's various levels of federal detention when you're kept at home, but that is in fact appropriate. With that presumption of innocence and the proper bail that should be set in this case. May I have one moment, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, this is so much to read.
I was saying the same thing.
Bro, I'm only on page 28.
Oh, y'all not interested in?
Hold on. La 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 la.
Hey, hold on. Let me ask the chat. Chat, are you guys okay with what y'all reading? Aren't you interested in what happened at court or not?
Everybody, I see. Are we there yet? Oh, hell no. Hell, is he talking? Let me find out one, too. How old is Greenberg?
We can stop. We can stop since you guys don't want to get in.
They said recess. Recess.
No, we can stop. They don't.
Hey, you digging me right? You digging me? And they say Greenberg ain't doing shit. It sounds like he doing a whole bunch of shit in here. Just saying. Sound like he was giving a good damn defense to me.
Look, Wish wants to. They like it. Okay, Wish is like it. Kayla likes it.
Well, it's gonna take 10 people to say they want to keep going.
Angel says she's interested.
That's 3.
That's more than 3.
I only see 3 people saying yeah.
Angel's 1, Wish is 2, Kayla's 3, Tamika's 4.
Tamika didn't say nothing. Tamika just said you're doing a great job, Rand.
Okay, so Tamika, you don't want to continue listening?
3. I only see 3. It take 10.
Sandra said yes. Lavelle said,
why would y'all do that?
Sandra said yes. Lavelle said yes. Diane said yes. Wish said yes. Tamika again. Another Tamika says yes. Okay, they want to know what, because they don't get the opportunity to hear stuff like this in court. So you guys are doing a great job, and I thank you and I appreciate y'all. And you digging me said continue.
You digging me? You know what? You digging me? How about you continue and you take my damn spot? How about that? You digging me?
Carolyn said keep reading. Stormy said keep reading. Come on now, Miranda. They don't.
Look, this is a recess, but this is like a 5-minute recess, bruh.
Okay, 5 minutes recess.
It's a whole bunch to read, dang it.
Okay,
I thought I was giving it to Nakia because she was gonna have more to read, and Greenberg wasn't gonna do that much talking, but Greenberg actually doing a whole bunch of
I
talking.
saw that. When I started reading, I said, "Oh, they trying to get me Miss Cool."
And then I'm like, golly, who said Greenberg wasn't doing nothing? Shit.
he addressed everything that people kept saying that he didn't address.
I ain't gonna lie. You better stop that, girl. Oh, man. Pass the mic. Hey, I'll give this mic to somebody now. Oh, man, y'all.
She doesn't definitely appreciate all you're doing. That's what she said. They appreciate you guys.
She was awesome. Keep on reading. Look, don't call me that. Look, I'm gonna ignore you like I ignore you digging me.
Look at Rita said, I went to sleep and woke up more reading. Oh, wow.
You know how they gotta gargle the water so they can start singing again.
I just grabbed my Red Bull.
I know. Look, I have to grab this. Okay. Mr. Groman has pointed out to me also that they executed a search warrant on Mr. Kelly's residence after he was arrested. I believe that I read somewhere they found 2 bullets, I think, which were in a cup with change. He had weapons. Those were all turned into the state when he was arrested on the state charges. Those were probably buried under the change, but they found nothing that I'm aware of during that search. Sylvia? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Cruel?
Thank you, Your Honor. I just briefly wanted to address a couple of things raised by Mr. Greenberg. First of all, Mr. Greenberg raised the fact that Mr. Kelly's co-defendants were released on bond. And yes, that is true. And here's why. There are 0 allegations against Mr. McDavid and Mr. Brown. They have ever had sexual abuse of minor. They are not charged in the most serious counts in this indictment, and they are not charged with counts that carry that presumption of detention. And second of all, with respect to the charges related to the obstruction of justice, Mr. Kelly was the leader of the conspiracy to obstruct justice. And whatever his co-defendants did in furtherance of that obstruction of justice, they did it at his behalf.
Wow.
And I want to make it clear with respect to the count of receiving child pornography, that conspiracy to receive child pornography that both Mr. McDavid and Mr. Brown is charged in, the role is receiving that child pornography was not because they enjoy viewing child pornography. It was because the defendant instructed them to obtain these sex tapes with minors that the defendant was on. And so it's not like they had an interest in minors. They were doing what the defendant told them to do. That's why they're charged in the count. And so we did not seek detention for those individuals because we did not see them as the extreme dangers to minors that the defendant is. The other thing I like to mention, Your Honor, is that throughout Mr. Greenberg's presentation here, he never once mentioned minor one. He never once mentioned the strength of our evidence regarding Mr. Kelly's sexual interest in middle school kids. He never once mentioned that he was now gone on record that, yes, that is here on 3 videos. And I want to emphasize, it's not just the same video from 2008. We have 3 videos showing the defendant sexual abusing minor one. And the other 2 videos were not part of that 2008 trial. So these charges are much more severe than what he was facing before. And the other thing I'd like to say, Mr. Greenberg liked to focus on a lot of adult victims in the case. And he was not focusing on the minors. And I like to make clear that the 8th graders that I mentioned, including minor one, never have they appeared before a TV camera. Never have they been seeking fame and fortune. They have cooperated with the United States government because we reached out to them. They are not on TV seeking money from the defendant. That's all, Your Honor.
Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Under the law, the specific charges of child pornography, creating and possessing child pornography, does require presumption of detention that there is no condition that could be sufficient. It would be up to the defendant to demonstrate that to get away from this presumption. And I do not believe, based on the allegation that have of the indictment, should bear the imperator of the grand jury, which means the grand jury, after hearing evidence certainly produced by the government, found probable cause for guilt of all the specific count in both the indictment here in Chicago and the indictment from New York in the Eastern District of New York. The charges are extraordinarily serious. The one specific one, counts 1, 2, and 3, carries a mandatory 10 years penalty, which is which indicts how serious those specific charges are. And in addition, they carry detention presumption. As far as the obstruction of justice, according to the specific count in the indictment, that the acquittal was at least in some part obtained because of the obstruction of justice, which involved allegedly payoff of witnesses and threatening witnesses to or buying back certain evidence in the form of video that, even though apparently there was no one that was played, there were several other videos. And if all 3 videos or 4 videos, or one of which apparently has not surfaced yet, but must be out there somewhere, has all 3 of them videos, who knows how the case could have come out. Supposedly, according to the indictment, again, I go by the facts, and that the grand jury found that there is probable cause, that witnesses were paid off and witnesses were threatened in order to either change the testimony or not appear at all. It
it appears to me that the defendant has failed to overcome the presumption of requiring detention in both the cases here in Chicago and the cases in New York. Although, does the presumption applies to New York case? I'm asking a question, Ms. Cruel.
Yes, it does, Your Honor.
All right. So the presumption in both cases that there is no condition which assures the defendant's attendance to a trial, or no condition that will protect the public and certain individual. Accordingly to the courts denied the motion for bond. Thank you.
Your Honor, I believe that we also have to take care of the defendant's arraignment. He was unable to be arraigned the very first day that he was arrested.
All right, Mr. Greenberg, has the defendant received a copy of the indictment?
He has, Your Honor.
Have you advised that he can't read? You've advised that he can't read, but you have read it to him?
We've gone over the charges with him. Yes. We'll enter a plea of not guilty and we'll waive formal reading.
All right. Would the government put on the record that the maximum penalty?
Yes, Your Honor. For counts 1 through 4 of the indictment, the maximum possible penalties are 20 years, imprisonment with a mandatory minimum of 10 years, supervised release of not more than 5 years, a fine up to $250,000, and a special assessment of $100 along with restitution. With respect to count 5, the conspiracy to obstruct justice, the maximum term of imprisonment is 5 years, supervised release of not more than 3 years, a fine up to $250,000, and a special assessment of $100. With respect to count 6, conspiracy to receive child pornography, and also count 7 and 8, the actual receipt of child pornography, there is a mandatory minimum of 5 years imprisonment on each of those counts, a statutory maximum sentence of 20 years on each count, supervised release at least 5 years and up to lifetime supervised release, a fine up to $250,000, and a special assessment of $100. And finally, with respect to count 9 through 13, enticement of minors to engage in criminal sexual activity, there is a statutory maximum of 10 years imprisonment on each count, up to 5 years of supervised release, and a fine up to $250,000, a special assessment of $100, and also restitution.
He's been arraigned. Hold on. Good Lord, Jesus. He's been arraigned on New York charges already.
Yes, he has.
All right, Mr. Kelly, your attorney. I understand that he tells me that you cannot read. And so do you feel that you understand the nature of charges in the indictment?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. The court accept and let the record show that the defendant is in court in person through his counsel. The government presents through his counsel. The defendant acknowledged that he has received a copy of the indictment. That is, that he has read it to him and that he is familiar with the content of the indictment. And he waives the excuse me. He pleads all the counts are not guilty. The rule, as far as discovery is concerned, the government will proceed immediately to furnish discovery. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. We were going to ask for some time to be able to work out a protective order with all 3 defendants, because a lot of the materials that we will be producing involve minors, and we are working on a protective order before we produce anything. So we would like maybe an extension of a week to your normal schedule for the Rule 16 conference.
Is that acceptable?
I don't know what a week means. Give me a day that they're talking about.
Are you talking about 2 weeks for the production?
Right. Normally we get 2 weeks to produce the Rule 16 materials. We're asking for an extra week because Mr. Brown's not even in town yet. We're not sure of his attorney situation, and we like to produce to work out this protective order with all 3 defendants in the case before we produce anything.
So you want 3 weeks to produce?
Correct.
Judge, given that Mr. Kelly is going to be in custody, we can look over whatever they propose as protective order, and it will be binding on us. And if they want to work out another protective order, I mean, what happens if Mr. Brown gets here and says he needs time to find counsel? I don't want to be at Mr. Brown, who is out his leisure.
Well, we're talking about 3 weeks max. Now, if they can't work out a protective order, he doesn't get counsel in time, we'll proceed with discovery.
Correct.
After 3 weeks, even though they have not, so what you have to do, so they would have to do is piecemeal, I guess, is that acceptable? I guess the question is.
I'm not trying to be difficult.
And no,
But how difficult is it to do a protective order? The protective order is going to say, don't show it to anyone other than the lawyers.
I don't know.
And people working on the case.
I don't know.
It seems pretty simple. I would think they've got one on their word processor.
Normally, you'd think it might be simple. But I've been here long enough to know that it isn't. That it isn't always the case. That people come up with objections. I guess I repeat the question. You object to 3 weeks?
I do.
All right. I have to make it 2 weeks. Let's see. What else do we need to do? Discovery in 2 weeks? Do you wish to file a pre-trial motion?
I'm sure we will.
How much time? Would you like to do it now, or would you want to look at them and then we have Greenberg?
You didn't read that right, but okay. I like to look at the discovery.
You want to look at them, or then we have
I like to look at the discovery.
All right. Why don't we do this? We'll get back in 30 days and we'll set a schedule for motion. And is there an objection to excluding time?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So the next status, we will be 30 days after you get the discovery.
September 4th at 10 o'clock a.m.
September 4th, the time will be excluded without objection on September 4th for the purpose of interest of the justice and in the interest of justice for pretrial motion, which counsel advised that there definitely will be. Oh, so okay, without objection time will be so excluded.
Thank you.
September 4th at 9 a.m. o'clock, sorry.
Thank you.
Anything?
What about?
Your Honor, I imagine that New York is going to want to have an arraignment in New York on their charges.
Hasn't he been arraigned? I thought you said
I misspoke earlier. He had his initial appearance on the removal proceeding, but he needs to be arraigned before.
Oh.
The district judge there. And so I do believe, though September 4th should give us enough time for him to have his appearance there and be brought back to Chicago for your September 4th date. I'll work with the marshals on that to make sure that that's okay.
All right.
But it sounds like it should be enough time to get him to New York and back.
Which is a whole nother complication, Judge.
Are you representing him in New York case?
We very well may be, but he does a lawyer there.
Does he have one there?
Right, because I'm not licensed.
All right, well.
We can also talk about video conferencing with New York to see if that is possible, a possibility.
All right, work that out.
We can't arraign him here now. We reviewed those charges with him also, but
I don't know.
He's entitled to appear before the district judge there.
Well, is that waivable?
I can work on that to see if that's acceptable to the judge in New York and the prosecutors in New York.
All right. If you want to do it, arraign him in front of me on New York charges, and then just schedule it with the clerk, and we can do that.
Thank you, Judge. I'll work on that.
Thank you.
Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right. We stand adjourned. Arise.
And done.
Hey. Oh, Lord.
Done.
Nikenya said, continue.
Ain't nothing can change.
Yo, Greenberg funny, though.
She lied, y'all. She lied to the judge. She said it was.
I would have been, if I was Greenberg, I would have been like, but wait, so if you could just misspeak, I mean, if you just misspoke right there, what else Wayne is speaking on?
She lied, because that's what the judge made. He thought that he had already been arranged, and New York said they weren't going to do free. You heard her
They
lie.
still ain't even turned over that discovery, huh?
Nope. Liars.
Crazy.
Pants on fire.
Boy, I tell you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Woo. And the audience cheers on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Chad. We appreciate you guys.
Even with the kids' messed up phone over there making noise.
No, I don't think it's my phone. I was muted the whole time. Besides, when it was time for me to read.
Okay, read, talk, Sylvia. I'm gonna mute. Talk and watch. Don't mute the kid. Talk to the kid and watch.
Nakia.
Is it my phone, Sylvia?
Yeah.
Whatever.
It is your phone. It is. I can hear it right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I told you.
We can hear you. It's like
Nah, it's StreamYard. My phone works very good.
No, it sounds like you're moving papers or something.
Oh no, it's absolutely quiet in here.
Hey, Parnell, pump your brakes, Parnell. Pump your brakes. Parnell gonna say the after party at no. Hey, Parnell, better not call me that, or you go get. Wait. No, sorry, Parnell, it wasn't you. That's you digging me saying your name was just so happened next to her, and I thought it was you saying that. But you digging me. You keep calling me Ran. You getting ignored.
Go ahead, Miranda. I had to mute her for a minute.
No, I said it.
I couldn't hear you.
Hey, Parnell, though. Oh, Lord Jesus.
All right, guys. But thank you, Nakia and Randa, for y'all reading. Did you guys understand what happened in court now?
Make sure you change my grade, teacher.
You digging me? We're virtually fighting. We're virtually gonna fight.
Oh my gosh, Rita getting on my nerve, y'all. I'm gonna beat the crap out of Rita. She's talking about where we at. The reading over.
Love y'all too. Woo! Look, maintenance said, I wish court could be that short and simple, but no, we sit for hours and hours and hours. I'm getting a headache just thinking about it. Okay. Look, that's why sometimes you be having to embrace yourself when you go to court. You be like, okay, let me go embrace myself for this, because it's gonna be a long session.
Yep. He said he did a good job. Thank you, guys. Well, we'll have another court session.
Thank you, Chad.
Oh, thanks, Lavelle.
We'll have another court section next time. We have more people to come up.
Yeah, that's gonna be you digging me and Miss Fat next time, since they in the chat talking all that talk. Always them too. Then Wish and Bird gonna be next. We're gonna have a list.
Yeah, we need some folks. High maintenance, you need to get up in here because you have the experience.
No.
High maintenance, you got the experience.
Let me go call Floyd real quick on you digging me real quick.
Thank
Oh,
you,
Lord.
Carolyn. Thank you.
Sylvia be so happy when she get me and the key on here, y'all.
Yes, I be trying to duck.
We be ducking and dodging, man. Especially when, all right, well, you just gonna have AT&T like Dom K. You gonna be up here reading that thing.
So what do you guys think of Free Jack? How did you guys?
Hold on, before you go there, what did y'all think about Greenberg? Since a lot of people was saying that he wasn't doing anything, like, what did you like just hearing it and being able to like read the transcript with us? Like, what do y'all think about that?
I think he did a good job.
Miss Pat gonna say I stutter when I read. Oh, you stutter like? Never mind.
You just read. No.
Never mind. Y'all know I'm the freak of the week.
Wish said he went off topic. He said Greenberg went off topic.
Didn't stay in the pocket. I think he is going to cut up in court. I do too. I really do.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know what though, Wish? I think the reason why it seemed like that with him because he kept saying he don't know what the evidence is. He ain't been able to see nothing. How can you argue something you ain't been able to see?
Yeah, look, it went from them supposed to be providing a thing within 2 weeks, right?
I don't even think they got it now. Do they even got the discovery now?
But okay, now let's go back to what I talked about earlier with the tape. Remember, Avenatti said he had the 3 tapes.
Yeah.
Did the court just say the 3 tapes? Guys, they got the information from Avenatti. How the hell are you gonna use that crook information? Case thrown out.
Look, Shy said you ladies need to be his advisors. Sounds so funny. Y'all gonna be reading till tomorrow with Miss Fat stuttering. He didn't address the tapes. He did address the tape. He said it's the same tape from 2008. Not all of it. He's saying some good things, but no emphasis on his words, right? He didn't address double jeopardy. Well, we can't really address it if he doesn't know what the evidence is. He has to be able to review the evidence, the current evidence with the evidence then. Because see, they telling him it's not double jeopardy. He has to be able to review it. And if you can't review it, you can't argue it.
They didn't talk about the protective order.
I don't think. But you know, I'm not a lawyer or nothing like that, so I don't know.
They talk about the protective order, but meanwhile, Avenatti could go all over the world and show the video.
Yeah, Rhoda, they did say that there's other tapes somewhere. They just ain't got them.
That's why they went inside the what's the name to get all the 100 devices and what they come back with. All that stuff is set up. Those people rigged that stuff. Come on now.
If you look at it in a way, he did tell him kind of that he couldn't argue what he doesn't have. He kept saying, I don't have the evidence. That's what he kept saying. I don't have the evidence. I don't have it. I don't know if I don't have the evidence. He said, I don't know about it if I don't have the evidence. He just kept saying that over and over again. It's like he had no argument because he didn't know what the evidence was. Randa, exactly. Twin, no. Like, to be honest, Greenberg is very confused. Exactly. Like, you could tell he confused because he don't know what if I go in front of a judge and argue something, how the hell am I gonna know what to argue if the prosecution, the government ain't gave me no evidence? None. They just gave me a piece of paper. I don't know what the evidence holds, the discovery holds. And they still ain't gave it to him. I don't think.
Krul said, Wish says he didn't object to what Krul said. You know what? They should be motioning to have stuff thrown out because their stuff was not provided. How do you keep not? I don't get it.
True, Wish.
I don't get it, y'all. I don't get it.
Look, Ms. January said 2 weeks to a whole year and still no discovery. See what I'm saying? Like, how y'all expect this man to prepare for his trial? Y'all not giving the discovery to them.
But can't they also ask that stuff to be thrown out that Michael Avenatti's provided? The tapes?
I don't know.
Because
I ain't no lawyer.
It is documented on TV that he's the one who provided the tape. Did he not say that? Oh, no. Right,
you digging me? He made sure it was documented. He has nothing to go off of. That's basically what he was saying. Like, I can't go off of nothing because I don't got nothing. I don't got no evidence.
And he can't object to nothing because he don't know.
Yeah.
And see, when you object, from what I understand, when you object, that means you know something. So you're objecting because you know otherwise. He don't know otherwise because he ain't seen the discovery.
Oh.
So he don't know how he can object to it if he ain't seen it. Because you gotta have it when you object. You gotta have a reason why you objected to it.
All right, good people. I'm about to go because I gotta start cooking.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, good job, my ladies. Thank you so much. Thank you, chat. Hopefully, you guys continue to pay attention to the nonsense, and we're just bringing stuff to your memory, guys.
And y'all, Miss Fat and You Digging Me got a page together. Y'all make sure y'all follow them. They gonna go live.
Yeah.
Hey, teacher, please make sure you change my grade.
Definitely. Get an A. I'm gonna read it.
Don't make me email you. Tell my mama.
Greenberg wants the publicity knowing he can't handle the case. He is trying to be noticed like OJ. Attorneys don't expect him to come out swinging and throwing punches. He will get stronger and harder as time goes on. That's what I think, Lavelle.
Yeah.
Or I would hope. All right, y'all. I'm out.
All right. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys later. Well,
Good
no
night,
more.
everyone.
I'm done with you guys for today. See you tomorrow. Remember, Robert has court tomorrow. Keep him in prayer. Keep him in prayer. Why are you laughing?
I said, Miss Fat and You Digging Me got a channel together. They going live after this. They gonna say, Miss Fat gonna say, well, let me say my apples. And then You Dig Me say, it's where all the thick sausages come to the table.
Ooh, hey Cynthia, see you later, guys. Remember, pray for Robert. Once guys, I probably won't see you guys until after 1. Because I have a meeting after the court. So I'll see you guys at 1. I'll give you guys what happened on court. Okay, he shouldn't be able to speak the case because. Exactly, Carolyn, you're right. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to go. You guys have a good night. Start reading up on what's happening with the case. Educate ourselves, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. I gotta cook for my family. They hungry. Been on here too long. See you later. Good night. Good night, good people.